So it's New Year's Day, and I woke up today and wanted to just make a quick video for your leaders to share with you, just to hopefully get you to look backward at the year that we just went through just for a little bit, and then turn ourselves forward and watch the light at the end of the tunnel coming towards us, and to give that some thought. So first, I want to say that I'm a big person that will talk about this time last year. Okay, so I kind of grew up with my dad always doing that to me, or this time next year, to kind of look backward and forward in time increments. So this time last year, I think it's fair to say that not one of us could imagine what we were about to go through. And I say that to you as high schoolers or middle schoolers, because certainly you couldn't even have imagined it. But I will tell you, from us grown-ups, we couldn't imagine this. We've heard of things like this, but never did we think in just a couple of months that the bottom would fall out the way that it did. That such is life. Such is life. I can tell you many New Years that I reflect on the year before and go, wow, I had absolutely no idea that was coming. Nor do we want to have a script of our year that's laid out ahead of us. We wouldn't want that. I don't want a timeline of how things are going to happen. That's what life is all about. Then we would either look forward to what was going to happen or dread what was going to happen. So the uncertainty is part of the game, so to speak. So of course we didn't know what was coming. How did we handle all of this? I mean, we've come through a whole year of it, or almost, and we've survived it. My goodness, and we. How did we survive it? Did we come through it with dignity and grace? Did we kick and scream and complain the whole time? There's a lot to be said about the way we as individuals walked through the program or the process of the year. But I have sent your leaders a list of questions I want you to go over, but I'm going to read them to you now just to kind of get your process of thoughts going, so you're not blindsided by them. And then I hope that your leader will take the time to turn off this video and for you to really get into a serious discussion. And I hope that you will be open and honest and about all of the thoughts that come to your head, because certainly where you are sitting with these people is a safe place. So the first one is, besides the obvious, which is COVID, what was your least favorite part of 2020? And I say that besides the obvious because I'm quite sure if you would poll any group of people, you would say, well, COVID. But that's such a, pardon me, but a cop-out. What about COVID was your least favorite part? COVID is such a broad brush of a statement. Of course, we all hated it. But what about it? And I don't even really want to give a list of things for you to consider, but what specifically happened because of COVID that made it, what was the worst part of 2020? I hope that makes sense. Be specific. And then what was your favorite part? Surely in the middle of all of this, I believe good things came from COVID. If you really concentrate on that, we can't sit here and look at this whole year with dread and with pain. Certainly good things grew up out of the disaster of this disease. So what were they? Think about them and name them. And then what did you learn about yourself during this time? What parts of you came to the surface that you didn't know you had the strength or the compassion? Or what did you learn? Maybe you didn't. Maybe that's what you learned about yourself. So what did you learn about yourself in 2020? And then what goal did you set that you couldn't obtain? I'm sure there was something. And then give that a voice. Allow yourself to grieve it. And then let it go, because not every goal is accomplished. So give that some thought. And the truth is, as we're starting to look forward, on the threshold of a new year, we really don't have any idea what's coming. We didn't last year. We don't this year. You won't next year. And again, that's part of life. But with that in mind, put on your seatbelt and be ready to go through this year and endure whatever comes your way. And with that comes these questions. What goals have you set for yourself? Don't be afraid to set a goal, and indeed try to go towards it, but make them realistic. Don't let yourself be disappointed over and over again. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Well, is that realistic? Or I'm going to exercise every day. Again, is that realistic? So what is your realistic goal for the year coming up of 2021? And then let's get a little second to be vulnerable. What are you the most afraid of when it comes to going through this year? Things were thrown at us that were unexpected. So what are you afraid of as you continue to take these steps forward into a brand new year? What are you the most excited about? It's okay to be excited. It's okay to be excited, looking into a brand new time. So what is it that kind of gets you all ready to go, your feet on the stopping blocks of this new year? And then where do you want to be? This is what my dad used to do to me every single Christmas Eve, and I will do that to you on this day of New Year's. Where do you want to be this time next year? I think that's different from a goal. Like, where do you, and then what my dad would always do was every Christmas Eve, he would say, where do you want to be this time next year? But then the next year he would say, did you do it? Did you make it? And then where do you want to be this time next year? So I had to hold myself accountable for whether or not I got where I was. Not to beat myself up. Don't get me wrong. I never believe in that. Don't beat yourself up over unobtained goals. Learn from them and forgive yourself. But be able to hold yourself safely and healthily, accountable. So I say that. Where do you want to be mentally? Where do you want to be spiritually? And where do you want to be physically by the end of this year, 2021? Think of those individually. Don't bunch them together. Where do you want to be mentally? Where do you want to be in your spiritual life? And where do you want to be physically? And it's okay to say exactly where you are. If you're comfortable where you are, own it. Say it. If you've got space to grow, allow yourself to grow. If you've got space to scale back, then that's okay. Scale back. This is the truth of you. And then finally, what do you think you have to do to get there? And you don't have to do a step-by-step plan. Is it pray more? Is it trust yourself? Is it giving yourself permission to work harder or to accept the failures of the past or a potential failure of coming up days? This is all you. This is all your heart, your soul, that gut feeling that you have. And it's okay to dream big. And it's also okay not to get there. Love yourself through all of it. Because if you can't love yourself, my goodness sakes, how are we going to expect other people to come and embrace us? If you can't forgive yourself for your shortcomings, how can we expect other people to do that as well? So happy New Year. And I hope that this new year doesn't keep me behind a video camera. I hope that at some point I'm standing with you or in front of you and we are having these serious talks, because if you know me, you know how much I love this kind of thing. So today, blessings to each and every one of you, and I hope you take the time to be with yourself and to not be afraid to look forward. And not be too ashamed to look back. But don't stay there. Don't stay in the past. Look forward. You know what? I'm not going to end us in prayer. I'm going to hope that by the end of your discussion time, each of you, one of you, will step up and pray for your leader and pray on the behalf of your group. So I love you guys. Hang in there. Can't wait to see you, hopefully soon.